So anyway, so I got a 7:30 a.m. flight. All right, so I'm thinking, all right, that means I got to get up at fucking 5:30, return the rental car and all that horse shit. Why don't I stay at a hotel right next to the airport? So my travel agent gives me the whole list of options of where I can stay. So I'm like, yeah, fine, fuck it. All right, I check them out, and one of them is the Sheraton. Sheraton, respected name, a very quality hotel. I say I'm going to stay there, and the price reflected that it was a quality hotel. It cost me like $180 or something like that. It was a lot of fucking money. So $199, something like that. For Philly, that's a lot of fucking money, considering I was right outside Upper Darby. So anyways, here's my travel tip for you. Do not ever stay at the fucking Sheraton at the Philadelphia International Airport. It is a beyond ghetto Sheraton. It's so fucking ghetto that I knew it was a fucked up Sheraton before I even went into it. I pulled up and it looked fine. I got out of my car, it looked fine. And as I walked into the place, as I was walking in, these 4 chicks were coming out, and they just looked like whores from a reality show. Awful tattoos on their feet, titties up and pushed together, these cheap-ass looking stripper shoes. And I went, oh, no. Oh, no, not a bad hotel. Please, God. Please. I started praying to the travel gods. Please don't let this be a bad hotel, I'm like, what? But, at first I was like, all right, what are these, like call girls? Do they just get done servicing some fucking married business guy on the road? Is that what they did? But it was like 12 noon. It's like, no call girls are up at 12 noon, all right? They already fucking washed off their vaginas, hosed them down at like 8 in the morning. And now they just fell asleep, face down in a fucking pile of glitter. And they're not going to wake up again till like 5 in the afternoon. That's how it works. Then they wake up, they fucking, I don't know what they do. They put some fucking vitamin E on the ligature marks around their neck from the night before. You know what's fucked up about ligature? Nobody ever uses that statement unless somebody got choked to death. Ligature mark. No, there's never any ligature marks, because you know why? Because these girls who are into that type of shit, if they survive the encounter, they wear that little ascot the next day around their neck. The hoary one, a choker. That's what they wear to cover it up. You ever have a girl want you to do that? Want you to choke her? I remember one time I was with this girl, right? And she all this type of shit. She wanted me to slap her in the face and all this crazy shit that all these fucking women shows, they never address. They never address the amount of fucking women that like that. They like it rough. It's fucking insane. Unless I just keep picking the same kinds of fucking women. But it's ridiculous. The amount of fucking broads that I've gone out with. Fucking women's lib, fucking blah, blah, blah. My career comes first. If we get married, I'm not taking your last name. Yada, yada, fucking yada. Right? Then you get them in, the fucking all pro women this, pro women that, and I'm making my own money, and fucking, and a couple other fucking lyrics from some stupid Beyonce song, right? All that fucking horse shit. You're going to respect me, eyeball to eyeball, the images of women on TV, all that fucking horse shit, and then you get them back to your place, and lo and behold, they have a rape fantasy. Am I the only guy? Am I the only fucking guy? So anyway, so I see these fucking, just these whores. Father didn't stick around. George Foreman grill eating fucking, just never had a chance. 4 girls just coming out, just never had a fucking chance. And, just dressed like fucking truck stock fucking whores. And the sad thing is they think they look good. And they don't even realize the vibe that they're putting out. They don't know any better. They don't fucking know any better. All right? There was a rusted out car in their front yard the day they were born, and they never had a fucking chance. The only fucking male voice that was in their household when they was growing up was the Billy Bass that their fucking dad left behind. You know what I mean? They just never had a fucking chance. So that was my first red flag. And I was going, oh, God, maybe they used some Sky Miles. Is that how they got in here? And I just walked in. The second I walked in, I could just tell the caliber of human being that was in there. Straight across the board here. All right? The caliber of white person, the caliber of black person, the caliber of fucking male, female. You just can tell. You know what I mean? Saw some black dude, when they get their hair braided, but they don't have enough money to fucking get it braided enough, so they got all those little hairs sticking out of it, So you can't see the scalp in between the braids, It's not looking fucking right. It's just not looking right. The fucking white dude with the cheap Anderson Little suit, the fucking creased up brown loafers with this gold lame horse shit on the front of it. Shoes look like they cost $11, and I'm just going, oh no. Oh God, at least let the fucking room be clean, So I check in, the lady behind the counter, she was nice enough. I don't know how she ended up at this fucking Sheraton. Maybe she stepped out of line at the big stockholders meeting. This is their Sheraton Siberia. So then I go up to my room, and it's weird. It had like it almost looked like a little house. You come walking in, there's a door, and right next to it, there's this big window for some stupid fucking reason. If I want to overlook half the elevators in the fucking poor excuse for a pool that they had. So the blinds were down, all right? So I open it up, and it's a suite. I'm like, nice. It was a nice room. It wasn't bad at all. So I'm in there for like 5 fucking minutes, and I hear this knock on the door, right? Guy fucking knocks on the door. It was covered in foam, so that's what it sounded like. And I open the door, and there's a guy standing there with this giant coffee table. And he goes, and he's trying to walk in with this giant coffee table. I'm like, whoa. I go, you got the wrong room. I didn't order a table. And he goes, no, this table's is your room's missing a table. I'm like, it is? They go, yeah. The last people who were here broke the other table. I was like, Jesus Christ, what, they have like a party or something? And he went, yeah. I thought he was going to say no. He went like, yeah. And I go, well, did they fucking fumigate the place? Now I think everything's been jizzed on. I'm laying in fucking angel dust and cocaine and shit, It keeps getting worse. Then I'm sitting there for another couple minutes, and then I just hear this lady telling this story, right? This motherfucker trying to tell me that motherfucker can't come over here. I said, motherfucker, you don't motherfucker with a motherfucker, baby. And I'm like, is it at least a guest? Is it at least a guest? And I fucking open the blinds to my window, and she's one of the people cleaning the rooms. Just cursing up a fucking storm. Loud as fucking hell. Like all broke people. Broke people are the loudest fucking people because they live near the freeways. They live near the subway. They used to shouting over shit. So she's out there, this motherfucker trying to tell me what time it is, baby. Right? And just screaming. And you know how much I curse. Okay? I was offended. And you know how much I curse. I was just like, Jesus Christ. Can you please, I might have kids someday. Can you please stop cursing like that? But I didn't say shit. Because I mean, at that point, I knew what was going to happen. I would have been like, excuse me, could you do me a favor? Could you just not, motherfucker, why don't you mind your own business? Ain't nobody talking to you, baby. Right? I didn't want to go through that whole fucking thing and her screaming at me. Plus, she was so fucking big, she probably could have just choke slammed me, and we would have had to have a new fucking table in my room. 3rd fucking table that week, and I'm a conservationalist. Is that the right word? So I'm like, all right, fuck it, whatever. So I don't say shit. So anyway, I drove to Upper Darby. It was just unbelievably depressing that people have to live that way. Fellow Americans have to live that way, and that we're always sitting here fucking acting like we give a shit about other countries and we need to help out. We don't. All right? Well, you give a shit or I give a shit, but our government doesn't. We're worming our way in there to help them out, air quotes, so we can take their natural resources. All right? That's how it is. That's what the fuck is really going on. If you ever wondered why. All right? They don't give a fuck about Upper Darby, New Orleans, or whatever fucking all those blue-collar towns that are failing out there in Ohio. They don't give a shit about them because they already own them. So if there's any oil to be had, they can just go in and suck it out of the ground. Yeah, that doesn't make any fucking sense. So anyway, I go back to my ghetto-ass fucking Sheraton. All right? I come walking in there, and at this point, it's 1 a.m. Now, if it was 1 in the morning and I was at a nice hotel, there'd be the usual thing. There would be some people hanging down at the bar, drinking, getting ready to cheat on their spouses. Dressed nicely, though. All right? But because it was a ghetto fucking Sheraton, I went down there, and most of the people in the lobby were children. Running around, screaming. Like 1 in the morning, kids just running around. I felt like I was in fucking Atlantic City. Those gamblers, degenerate gamblers, they don't fucking handle their kids right? So just to see a fucking children. I mean, I was waiting for fucking, the only thing was missing was somebody there, gathering them. Like you could have had a children's choir. That's how many fucking kids were there. So I go up the elevator, and I get out of the elevator, and I walk back up to my little, I told you, the front of the room looked like a house. And there was a door, and then there's the window. And as I'm at the door, as I'm looking down to take out my hotel key, I look down, and on the windowsill is a 3/4 eaten chicken wing. Sitting on the fucking windowsill. I got pictures to prove it. They're all going to be up on the mmpodcast.com. Whatever the fuck it is. Is that the name of the website? I don't even know the name of the fucking website. What the hell's wrong with me? Yeah, the mmpodcast.com. If you go up there, I'll have all these pictures. The pictures of the Tower Theater and all that. I didn't take any pictures when I was driving through Upper Darby for obvious fucking reasons. I didn't want to be, I would not want to be taking pictures down there because people either think you're a cop or you're just documenting their level of poverty, which would be fucking annoying to me if I was in that situation. So anyways, with that was my... Oh, and then the next morning I woke up and I dropped my car off at Budget. It was fucking hilarious. One of these hilarious racial moments here is I go to get on the bus. The bus driver's black. 5 white guys get on it. He asks us where we're going. I go, U.S. Air. This guy says this, blah, blah, blah. So we're driving in that, and he's listening to this preacher because it's Sunday morning. And the guy, he's talking about, people need to be into Jesus and blah, blah, blah. All this, regular Jesus shit, right? But then all of a sudden, he starts talking about Obama. And around, he just starts kind of trashing white people. Just going, we should be giving thanks to Jesus that a strong black man is president and is not afraid to stand up to the white supremacists that we run in this country. And he's got it cranked. And I'm sitting there fucking, and all I did, just because I wanted to have the laugh, I just turned around and looked at all the other 4 white guys, and then everybody's just sort of sitting down looking at their wingtips like, really? What exactly is the call here? Or can we say something? Excuse me, we're not all white supremacists. Like, what exactly is the proper response to that? Because I thought it was, I don't know, I actually thought it was fucking hilarious. I wish I could remember what the guy was saying. Jesus, now I'm fucking bombing again on this fucking podcast.